Welcome to Go, the Mission. We out here broadcasting from St. Joseph, Michigan. Cold and quarantine and all that. I'm your host, Corey Johnson. I'm currently attending Andrews University in the seminary program, working towards the Master of Divinity degree. And then it's my goal to pursue the doctorate in missions. Through a sequence of events that we're going to dive into in the future of this podcast, I realized that service through missions is my passion, and that's what I want to share with the world. Of the many different ways that I've been blessed to serve, the one that had the most impact on me was no doubt the 5 years that I spent as a missionary to the island nation of Palau, and soon to return, of course. But I'm here to tell you that all of us, every single one of us, has a mission, a purpose, and that we're never going to achieve it unless we go. Think about it. In the world of science, it's obvious that things that don't move and things that don't share, they end up dying. I was in Israel a couple summers ago and visited the Sea of Galilee and the Dead Sea, two really awesome places for two really different reasons. When you actually are able to go and see Galilee, you notice that there's fishermen out there. There's a lot of people enjoying, swimming, jet skis, whatever. They're out there. It's alive. And the reason for this is because it takes in water from the Jordan River, and the water is able to flow out. And this, I don't know all the details, but it promotes life. If you go there, you can see it for yourself. It's just what it is. And the Dead Sea is completely opposite. I mean, yeah, it has an inflow, and it takes in, it collects water. It gets something for itself, but there's no output. It doesn't give out anything. It doesn't share anything. So it ends up just collecting all these incredible salt deposits. And it's actually the only place in the world where I've ever been able to float, which is why I think it's really cool. But the Dead Sea, it's not even that it's dead, it's still dying. Like if you look at even satellite images of it over the past several years, you can see it literally shrinking and getting smaller because it's not giving anything out. It's not doing anything to promote life in the Dead Sea. There's no fishermen out there. There's none of that. If you get water in your eyes, you're probably going to feel like you're going to go blind. But anyway, you get the point. Spiritually though, it's the same thing. When we don't share and all we do is take, we don't have any output. We don't give anything away. When we're not moving, when we're not going, we actually die spiritually. For a lot of us, we sit and we wonder why, we're going to church, we're attending this, we're listening to that, watching the right things on YouTube and different pastors and different sermons, and we read the Bible and we do all of these different things, but we feel empty inside. It's because we're not giving. It's because we're not moving. It's because we're not going. I believe that our greatest purpose is found in Jesus, his life, his mission. And ironically and sadly, his last words to his followers on this earth, they're often the first ones forgotten by the majority of the people who actually claim to be his followers. Why? That's a good question, and I'm sure it has a lot of different answers. But the purpose of this podcast is to dive into the why, and then hopefully along the way to educate, encourage, and enlighten about Christian service and its impact in all forms, but especially in world mission. I've said for years that I believe Jesus has always kept things simple, even with religion, and especially with religion. It's us humans, we're the ones that have complicated things. When it comes to our lives, it's the same thing. The principles Jesus taught us for how we should live, they're simple. And we've complicated it so much that we have a problem believing that we're called to go and to serve. Check it. When the end of Matthew records Jesus saying, "Go ye therefore," that's when we were called. Any follower of Jesus was called at that moment. Many are called. So many are called. The problem is just too few respond. These thoughts that we get in our minds today to serve others and to serve through mission, it's not some new thing Jesus is trying to make us aware of or to introduce into our lives like it's a brand new concept. No, it's a reminder of the call that he gave all of his followers right before leaving this earth. We out here to be out here to fulfill the directive, the simple directive that Jesus gave. It's not about being caught up in our own little world, our own little bubbles, because it's not about us. The Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve and to give his life as a ransom for many. Just remember, to exist is not enough. To exist is not enough. There's so much more, so much movement, so much going that is a part of our enhanced existence and spirituality that God wants us to figure out and to be about. So hey, thanks for listening to the introduction of this podcast, Go, the Mission. Once again, this is your host, Corey Johnson. If you want to know more, keep listening as future episodes come out. I'm currently working on a website, an Instagram, and a YouTube page for the pod. And check it out on the screen. You'll see a couple links so you can follow and link up with those efforts. And I'm going to do my best to keep you all updated with plans for the future. Until next time, peace.